Hello everyone, really quick update for today. So what I thought would happen yesterday through developing monthly value area high and also the developing yearly val happened. So there's a lot of momentum around here, which was the case. So I've taken off the resistance levels here because it blew through that. Where would I expect it to go next? Previous month value area high. You have 50% 4-hour liquidity in there. So 4-hour pretty much stacked on the midway point. That's where I would expect it to go. So blow through resistance here, take half the liquidity and then roll. If it doesn't and then takes all this, then it's probably going to developing yearly VWAP. So we'll see. Otherwise, we'll go to the weekly FEG and then put in another lower high, like it did with the 82 K level, and this 50%. This hit 50% of a weekly FEG as well, just for reference. So we have that FEG in here. So from this wick to that wick, and then we get the 82K level, hitting the 50% of the FEG, rolling. So this would be a reactionary area where I'd expect price to roll if it's putting in a lot lower high on the macro, if I can speak correctly. If there's a lot of support being built in around here, then we're pushing up a lot more aggressively. But this would be the areas in which I would want price to kind of stop and then rotate. So on the daily, I'd say it is conservative to think that we may get a proper pivot on RSI for the daily around this area. Taking liquidity, 4-hour. So it's not necessarily bearish. It's not necessarily divergence because price here is higher than here. So that's my thinking anyway. We're still not completely tapped out. And that being said, SPX is pushing higher. NASDAQ is as well. So it got into, we'll go to the daily quickly. So we're still getting support off developing yearly value area high. That being said, we've still got a confirmed downtrend, which is being respected. What else? Well, we'll check this quickly. And we've got the closes, which are aligning with this uptrend as well. So it can compress in here and it's either going to blow through the top, take all this liquidity, or it's going to have a massive rejection and then pull straight back, probably to the rolling VWAP, but I would suggest more of a correction around here. You would want to see a acceptance of 50% of this price. So it kind of aligns around here, let's say. Oops. So yeah, it's not perfect. We'll put in a fib. Let's reverse it. So 618 is not really absolutely definitive. And then half as well. So Yeah, it's not like there's a lot more a positive sentiment trying to push price higher anyway. Let's just say that. Options markets trying to push price higher. They don't really give a shit about what is actually technically sound. It's more like perpetuating price high because people are speculating that it's going to go high. Hence, people are getting into positions for it to go higher. It's the irony of it all. What else? Gold is still shitting itself. So if it can't maintain this area around here, if it's accumulating, I would suspect there's still a defined downtrend on the daily. Do we have RSI on this? Yes, we do. Weekly. We've got a pivot on the weekly. If it can't hold this area, if it can't hold this area, I'd like to get this volume off actually. If I can, if I can't, we will turn that off. Oh, there we go. Makes my life a whole lot easier. Weekly closes higher than here. So, and then you see it's giving good reads on the liquidity as well for 50%. If we can't, moving down here, so say 3,200. And then that would be a serious issue, but we'll see. Options with SPS and NASDAQ are a problem though, because it really doesn't make sense for price to continue to go up, except that people are speculating that price will go up. So it doesn't actually, there's no real world value or accepted value that's deriving the price. It is more speculation than anything. And especially with price not testing 50% or specific VWAP levels, particularly developing yearly VWAP and the rolling VWAP, after this rally, then yeah, it's kind of going to set the other markets up for movement up. That being said, as I said previously, areas to watch out for weekly FEG, and then this 50%, this 4-hour composite area up here with resistance too. All right, well, hope this helps. Oh yes, that's right. So we got the 50% rule. It was on the 30. I'd covered this before. So there was the 50% on the 30-minute here. Same with composite 5-minute from here to here. And then we got a tag with high volume, so that's the entry trigger. What else did we get for this morning? So we have, I did put this on my other chart, I think, on the 5-minute. So there we go, 50% tag of liquidity in the top. So I took this, and then with high closes as well. Obviously, you can do it on the actual high volume candle itself, and then set it for that. But you get the 50% tag as well with a triple or quadruple bearish divergence. And then yeah, rotation back down. What will we get as well? So we haven't got into liquidity yet, so we'll see how that works. You can also do composite liquidity. We'll do 1 hour very quickly. So very responsive buyers in the bottom. So you could do a composite liquidity in here. You could either do it on high volume and then come up, and then you get people pushing price down. So you would expect around this area. I mean, you can do it on that, or you can do it on that. And then you get 50% there. So do we get a 50% test of this as well? Oh, there you go. Okay, so that's the confirmation there. So that's how I would read liquidity as well in this area with composites. So you get this. I mean, you could even pull it down to here. But considering this such a large wick on the 1 hour, this would be a more definitive candle for liquidity for a 50% test. So we've got that put in. We get a test with this candle at 6 a.m. Brisbane time at 50%. And then we get rotation up with responsive buyers. And then you can put the composite in from that point up to here with all buy candles, and then put it on the open. And then considering we'll get a sell-off with rotation up the top with 5-minute liquidity, there would be potentially a test for the 50% of the composite liquidity, and then rotation back up. That being said, with the 4 hour, we get double bear. We also get volume dropping off, but that's typically in Asia. We have a defined downtrend with volume here as well. So, whoops. And yeah, defined drop in volume. So potential rotation for price. What else? And then we get liquidity as well. So 4 hour too. But the 5 minutes seems to give the better read on that. But yeah, something to keep in mind. I haven't even looked at order flow as well too. So, but you can see that there's orders being stacked here with responsive buyers on 50% of the composite liquidity. So it is being defended. Whether that continues is another story. What else? We get not, it's not easy to read with the double pivot, though you get the divergence there because it's pretty much the same. Strength, but price is much higher here. What else? Yeah, if we were to rotate back down, it really just blew through developing yearly val with high volume. So there was no interest in doing a retest for it. We haven't got a definitive bump and run here. It's mainly just being pushing through and pushing back down out of it. As I said yesterday, a higher low here compared to here, compared to here, compared to here. So yeah, I would speculate price higher. Maybe even taking liquidity in here for the 1 hour. I mean, is there going to be a defined internal rotation where price comes down, tests the developing yearly val again, and then rotates back up? Because that would still be a higher low with this. We'll go to the 4 hour. It would still be defined as a higher low. So yeah, I don't know. And then reset the 4 hour again, or just go for continuation. But that is my thinking on price at the moment. We'll see what happens. This is 5 minute as well. So, there you go. So pretty typical again. You get the 50%. I'll go for that on 3 minute. 3 minute gives a good read for our resistance. You'd get that single wick for the test, high volume. And then on the 1 minute, it gives an excellent read on that. And also, strangely enough, you get 1 minute close. So that would act as strong resistance too. Not saying a 1 minute close, open and close in the top is very strong, but you can obviously use it in significant points of rotation where you think price will move the opposite way. And if it aligns with other factors as well, there is much higher probability that there is a strong entry there sitting there where you can manage risk accordingly and have a larger position size because it is justified to do so. Like yesterday with the accumulation in the bottom, we got responsive buyers stacking on, as I said, the 50% of the 4-hour liquidity was tested. And then you get high volume in the bottom at 9 o'clock on Asia Open. So that's a strong indication of what was to come. Quickly with this, I know I've been rambling on, but yeah, it's just a strong indication with the pivot as well, with RSI gaining strength, let's say. There was no pivot on the 5 minute, so nor with the candle or RSI, but there was confirmation in this low at the 50% of 4-hour liquidity that there was going to be rotation there. So you could assume that was the case, and especially with a higher low being put in and confirmed on the 4-hour with responsive buyers, the target would at least be developing monthly VWAP, if not higher. So, all right, well, I hope that makes sense. And yeah, I hope you guys have got into some decent positions, and I'll leave it at that.